Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Keogh, one of the former best amateur fighters in Europe, and right now the Cage Warriors fighter. Hello, Keith. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for taking the invitation. And I watched your amateur career for a while, and I think that you built your name as the one of the best fighters in Europe. You were super successful. You of course got amateur experience, but right now you sign a contract with Cage Warriors, and I think that almost every fan of MMA knows how good this promotion really is. So if you can tell me, how do you feel signing with Cage Warriors, and what do you think will be how your debut would look like?
Yeah, so obviously I was ready. I was at the pro stage to go pro, so I had my pro debut last May, which is it'll nearly be a year today because I'm fighting in April. So basically, I was trying to get a couple. I was offered the contract before, and it's not like I wanted it. It was Cage Warriors, but I wanted to get in there and feel the fights out and have one or two fights beforehand before they made that stage. Because listen, Cage Warriors is the biggest promotion in Europe, and that was the goal anyway. Since I'm an amateur, was to be at that stage, go from Cage Warriors into the UFC. So that was always, I think, in the plan, was to be in Cage Warriors. And then obviously I was trying to get fights at the end of last year. I couldn't get fights. I had a lot of turnedowns. So it was no brainer. I was like, I'm going to fight on the biggest promotion, get fights, get good fights, good exposure, and they bring cards to Dublin as well also. So I think over here I'll sell tickets. So it was a no brainer that was good for them and it was good for me. To sign for Cage Warriors, and listen, it's Cage Warriors. There's 120 fighters or something. We were talking the other day. Went from Cage Warriors to the UFC. Their promotion is great. They always put on great fights. So my goal to come in here is to be entertaining, do what I do best, work on my new tools, and really put on a show on April the 26th.
And of course, you made your pro debut, but it was a quite easy fight for you. You looked great in this, and I think that in Cage Warriors they can challenge you in some ways because there are a lot of good fighters, even young and up and coming fighters. So I think that because you will fight against good challengers, your
Yeah.
level probably will go up really quick.
Yeah, well, that's the plan. Obviously it's the biggest stage in Europe. It's the best fighters in Europe, really, especially England and Ireland. And then obviously there's a lot of other talent and stuff like that from the mainland as well. But it really is, it's the pinnacle of really European MMA. You have some other shows coming about, but I think Cage Warriors is it's going around so long. There's so many good fighters, so you can't not get better fighting. You know what I mean? You can't not have good opponents. Everybody is a good opponent. You're in there now. You're fighting the best and everybody's trying to win. So you're there, you're improving every time, and it's that step up and challenge that you probably never had before. I've had some good fights, obviously as amateur, but now it's time to do it with a pro, and there's no better place to do it.
And how many fights would you like to have this year?
This year, definitely three fights, as many as I can, to be honest. Hopefully, obviously you want to come out every fight not injured. So I want to get out in there and get back in nearly a couple of months after, just get back in, have a fight. There's two cards in Ireland this year, definitely then two cards, definitely another card then in between, and see what happens if you can sneak the two in, if I can come out and get back in there. But definitely I'm looking for three fights this year.
And watching your fights, I think that you have amazing triangle choke. Actually, one of the fights that you won by triangle, it was in APFC, also in Europe. But do you think that this is the best grappling technique in your tool set?
No, not really. I think I have so many weapons that people are yet to see. I think even me top pressure, people don't realize how good I am on top. So now you're gonna see that we're having elbows and stuff like that. I'm gonna have elbows. I'm gonna be raining them in. But off my back, obviously my triangle is good and flexible. People really don't realize how fast I lock them up and how fast me high guard is. But now as well, elbows from the bottom. It's take me down and go for it, and then I can start elbow from the bottom. I can start using that for triangles, leg entanglements, standing up. So I think I'm good everywhere. I think it'd be stupid to say, yeah, I'm just good with triangle. I have a lot of other stuff obviously that I do in training, but yeah, triangle is a nice one for me.
But even like watching your like few fights, we can see that you are like good in every area. It's not that you are only a grappler, only a
Yeah.
striker, but you can mix it like very well. And I think that it is like super important factor that right now, even that you are 1-0 as the pro, you are like a full MMA fighter.
Yeah, without doubt, like I think then days are long gone, like nearly where unless you're like extremely good at like a Khabib where it's unstoppable of a takedown. Now if you have a grappler, and you're just a grappler, someone's gonna figure you out. Someone's gonna stop your takedown and beat you on the feet. You have to be able to take the fight anywhere. You have to be able to mix it up on the hands, even just to get your takedown, or you have to be threatening them to takedown so you can set up your hands. And your kicks, of course, that is. But I don't think there's. I think them days are gone. I think you have to be a pure MMA for it. Like now, you barely even see people standing in one stance. It's you're not just a southpaw. You're not just an orthodox. You're both. So I think you should be really like leveling up. The game is moving so fast. Realistically, it's only a new sport. The 90s MMA came around. Boxing has gone around, 100 years, 200 years. MMA is only new, so this is evolving really quick. Everything's coming together, and there's always new stuff happening. So I think you have to be all rounded now. I don't think you can be one style.
And about your beginnings in the overall like combat sports world, what was the first thing first sport that you ever trained?
But like really, I don't kickboxing for about a year, but it was like when you're a kid and you tell people you do karate, I done it and I actually competed when I was about 12, and I had one fight and I wasn't too bad, but it was really that like I didn't take it serious. I done it once a week. I was into football. I think like most kids in Ireland, it's football like GAA Gaelic football is obviously really big over here, but mainly in the capital, it's in like in Dublin, it's football or Gaelic, and then boxing is really big as well. But I was doing kickboxing, and then I heard about the MMA gym, and then I started really training then a couple of months. And then once I started, I fell in love with it. I was off school in the summer. I was training twice a day, and then that was really it from there. I was about 13, 14, and haven't stopped since.
So what was the like main factor that you like that first MMA?
To be honest, like I joined combat sports to lose weight. At the start, I was like chubby, but then like that really fell off me, and I went the other way. I was like nearly anorexic looking. So I just loved everything about him, and I used to play like video games. I used to play with Brock Lesnar and Anderson Silva on the UFC 2010, and watch Kimbo Slice. And stuff like that out the backyard balls. My older brother would have like Kimbo Slice fights on. So I would always be into watching stuff like that, and that kind of got me in. Like I was always in love with it beforehand. I was real casual. I was only a kid, and I wasn't big over here. It was even the pre-McGregor era. Like no one really knew who McGregor was. He was probably still fighting on Cage Warriors, or maybe had one fight when I was in MMA at this stage. So like no one really knew that. It was just kind of more so I was fascinated with it. Then I started to obviously like lose me a bit of weight and all, and then it wasn't about that anymore. It was I just fell in love with everything. I fell in love with like the sport as a whole.
And what is the like right now your current gym that you are training at? And was it a like first gym that you ever went to?
Yeah. CMAC MMA was the first gym I've ever been at. I'm still at CMAC MMA now, and I'll always be at CMAC MMA. Like they've literally brought me up, my head coach Alex. So yeah, I've started with them, and I'm still here now. And you've seen my obviously they've done with me, so it's unbelievable to be still here, and it makes it more meaningful that I'm still with them and doing it with them together. He's on the same card as me as well. It's me and Alex both fighting on the same card, so it makes it more meaningful that I started with the same gym. I've had all my success with the same gym, and I'm gonna have all my success with the same gym.
I think that this is great when you start at one place and you are still in
Yeah,
the same place like 10 years ago. Of course, like going to other gyms is also good because you can like take some knowledge and it's nothing wrong about it.
yeah.
But to be in the end is still in the same gym is something cool aspect of it.
Yeah, like that's it. You should be going to get other bodies and training in other gyms and stuff like that. Now, and we do that, or we have other people coming in because you need different bodies. You always have your same sparring partners. You can read each other's tells and stuff like that. But I think for me, it's just so important. Like we're all from the same area as well. Like it's an area in Dublin, and we're all from like a kilometre distance of each other. Like all my friends and everybody in the gym, it's all walking distance. So I walk the training, and everybody else could walk the train and really, like, obviously they drive, but you could literally walk the, it's all in a kilometer, 2 kilometer distance. And we've have, like, obviously Alex and Trevor, Jordan, everybody, Ross, everybody is in the same the distance as each other. Like, it's only literally down the road from each other, and we're all training from the one gym. So it's not like all these other big gyms who are successful because they have people flying out over the world. We all really started there and are training there like all our life, and it makes it more meaningful.
And for now, what in like your opinion in your situations is the like favorite part of the training and the part that you don't really like?
To be honest, there's nothing I don't like. There's nothing I don't like. I'm really enjoying at the minute doing some strength and conditioning, like, with Gaz Hickey, my strength and conditioning coach. Gaz Hickey has really been a big help for me, and I'm also enjoying now, like, the field aspect of it. It's kind of the other bits that make it a better athlete, really, rather than being a fighter. Because I love MMA. I've always done MMA for years without, like, really strength and conditioning or eating right, and it was just, that was it. I fought like that. So now I have, like, Nate McGillian, who was my nutritionist, and, like, learning from him and stuff like that is a real big help for me. And then also Gasicki, who's my strength and conditioning coach, he's brought me on leaps and bounds and size, speed, strength, everything. I really feel like I'm more of an athlete now. Before I wasn't an athlete. I was fighting against people and I was a small, like, kind of Nate Diaz, skinny, fat type of body, or else I was just skinny. It was one or the other. But now with Gaz, I feel like I'm filling out into a proper athlete. He has me faster, I'm more sharper. So I'm enjoying that aspect of it as well, like, and then obviously changing to the pro game, a lot of elbows and stuff like that, stuff you can implement. I'm also enjoying that at the minute. So lots of aspects that I enjoy. There's nothing I don't enjoy. There's nothing I don't enjoy. You have to be in love with the sport. Obviously, like, you're missing out on stuff as an athlete, like, you're dedicated to this game. But, like, honestly, I don't miss it. Like, I love my love for doing this sport overshadows my love for everything else. So this is it. This is my life. It's a lifestyle. So I love everything and don't like anything. There's nothing I don't like, should I say.
So I think that maybe in your next fights in Cage Warriors, we can see like the best version of you, because like you can use elbows because of this, all of these changes. This probably will be the best Keith ever.
Yeah, no, without doubt, I didn't get to use elbows in my last fight, but I was telling people I'm going to use knees to the head, and I thrown about 20 of them. So I came out and I was a bit overzealous with them, but, like, that was it. It's the pro debut, thrown them, good performance, 1-0. I'm hoping to show even more tails this time. Like, I'm literally, there's so much stuff I have to show. I think, and especially, I think I perform better on a big show, like even APFC and stuff like that. I perform better on big shows. You've had fights over here where it's like you're fighting in the gym, and I haven't fought as well. But I like the big shows. I think I perform best on the big shows. So I think having like, I thrive off the crowd. I think that really inspires me on. I think people crumble under pressure. I just seem to love it. Like, it's nothing that it's like I don't know. It's just in me. I find I walk out and that's it. I'm in love with the adrenaline buzz. I get in the cage. I'm just it's just me. I feel like this is where I'm meant to be. So I think coming on the Cage Warriors is just going to even bring me on that little bit more, and I get to do what I do best and perform for everybody in the crowd and everybody at home,
So in the UFC, you would be much better on the like pay-per-view card than the Apex card.
Well, that's the plan. Like, that's where the money's at as well. So put me on all them.
And how many fights do you have like on your contract with Cage Warriors?
It's a 5-fight contract. It's a multi-fight contract, so I'll have 5 fights with them. Yeah, in 18 months.
So maybe with the like wins in these fights, you can get a like a title shot, because like featherweight division, but like even lightweight, bantamweight in Cage Warriors are quite deep division. There are a lot of good fighters. So if you get to the title, like everybody knows how good you are. So with like a 6-0 record, it can be like new contract and maybe a title fight.
Yeah, well, that would be great. Like, you know what I mean? I think that's the plan. Win all your fights, get a title fight, and go to the UFC, I suppose. So I think in a realist, or in an ideal situation, or an ideal world, should I say, that's the goal. Like, that's the plan, is to win all my fights and get as fucking as much as much experience as I can in there, and get as good as I can, as quick as I can, win as much as I can, and go all the way. I'm not in this to look. I'm in this to go all the way. So I'm ready for all the fights, win all the fights, and then go all the way. Yeah.
And of course, you have all of this amateur experience. But is there any style that you don't like to fight?
No, not really. I don't think I've faced anybody where it's been like where I haven't been comfortable. Like people like, didn't expect me to be so good off me back. Now I have just more stuff to add to that. I have more stuff that I'm after adding to that game. I'm really good on top. I'm good striking. There's nowhere as like touching on what we said before. Like you should be all rounded. I like fighting anybody. I like just being in there. I think people crumble under. Like I think I have a lot of pressure. I think pressure is a good thing. I'm constantly trying, I'm constantly fainting, and it's hard for a lot of people. People change their styles really quick against me. You know what I mean? I once I go in there, it's more it's they're in the cage with me. You're locked in the cage with me. That's the way I go in and I see it. Look, I'm going in and it's like right. I'm the one that they're like fuck. They have to get in the cage with Keogh. That's the way I think of it in my mind. It's if you're not backing yourself in this game to go in and fight anybody, you're in the wrong sport. You join tennis or something because this is a brutal sport. It's unforgiving. So you should be in here to fight anybody.
And for now, who is your like favorite fighter to watch?
At the minute, I like a lot of fighters at the minute. Oh, if I had to pick one, I like Tom Aspinall at the minute. Like obviously he's a heavyweight. He's just exciting. He's from this part of Europe, I suppose. So I like Tom Aspinall. Just not even like his voice style, but his persona. Those if I had to, I don't think I'd have to pick one. I like watching a lot of different fighters. Like I was liking Leon Edwards there for a couple of years. I've never been like really one to just pick out one person. I like looking at different styles from all different fighters. Um, there's not one I really would be. Oh, I love him. I love like watching everybody and picking out everybody different bits of the game.
And about Tom, do you think, because of course the fight is not scheduled yet against John Jones, but if the fight will happen, do you think that he will beat John?
Well, yeah, I think that's why I'm liking like that's why it comes to the top of my head at the minute because someone like him, he's a humble guy and stuff like that, and the fact that I think personally he could beat Jones. That's why I'm kind of like swaying towards Tom at the minute. He's humble. He wants to fight. He's ready to rock at any time, and he has youth on his side. Against John, so I think at the minute, I think he could beat John. You just see what John did to Stipe, but I don't think there's any reason. Tom has backed himself from the start. He's went in there and just backed himself and just cleaned out, I suppose, everybody's fault. And look how good it's working for them.
Definitely, he did deserve to get for the undisputed title.
Yeah. Yeah, no, without a doubt, he deserves it. Without a doubt, like there's no question, and I don't think anybody's mind that he deserves a shot at the title.
And getting back to your career, when you had the pro debut, did you feel any like pressure with the like knowledge that it will be your, let's say, even like new beginning because your amateur career will be was done and it is like new chapter of the book?
Yeah, not too much to be honest. Like I was more excited. You get the fight day jitters and the pre-stage jitters like all the time, but you use it to your advantage. So I like having them. I like having them jitters, but beforehand and all the build-ups were not really at all. Like I was driving on it, like I was loving it. It's where I was meant to be. It's where I was meant to be. Like I was getting like the amateur it's monotonous. Like, but now you actually like. I have something to aim for. Like I have not something to aim for, but I have me plan in place now. I'm pro when I'm looking at the UFC because I think everybody should be looking at the UFC. There's obviously different promotions, but for me, it was like right, this is it now. We can start building on my career and start taking them steps because it doesn't matter how many amateur fights you have, you still have to build yourself as an early pro, and the experience matters. But as from a business standpoint, I suppose, it was like right, I'm ready now to go and just start building. So it wasn't too much pressure. I didn't think anyway. Fight's a fight. I think a fight is a fight. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. And if you back yourself and you think you're good enough, it shouldn't matter.
And outside of fighting, when you have a bit more of the free time, do you have any like additional like hobbies or passion outside of combat sports?
Yeah, I like I'm a big football fan, so I like watching football a lot. You know, I'm a big football fan. I'm a big like Liverpool fan and stuff like that. So I like watching football a lot and just chilling out. To be fair, so I think that's like that was my main thing when I was younger was football. So I definitely like watching football is definitely probably the biggest thing I would. Like I've took a step back because I used to be like when I was younger and a teenager, I'm like nearly missing training now to watch Liverpool play or something, you know. So you have to take a bit of a step back. But yeah, no, definitely on the weekends and stuff. Definitely the football is would be my main thing to watch. But not as in terms of like doing a different hobby and stuff. No, I wouldn't. I just that's me all my exercise and stuff. Every bit of um work that I have physically on the body goes towards MMA or strength and conditioning or anything at all.
And do you like also like play football?
No, I don't play it anymore. No, no, you don't want to get injured or anything like that, you know. So it's that was long out the window since I've been a kid.
Yes, yes, it probably could be a little bit risky because you are like in the training all the time. So it's like it would be not a good idea to be injured just playing
Yeah, like
football.
that's it. You barely get injuries in training, and then you go to football and you bleed into your ACL or something like that. So, yeah, no, I should stay away from doing anything other than my own training. You know.
Okay, Keith. So many thanks for the time and for conversation. I think that your like career in Cage Warriors will be quite interesting because of your previous experience, and I hope that you will stay undefeated in the like end of this year.
Thank you, but I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, and thanks for following.